Good evening, everybody. Oh, not yet? Okay. Good evening, everybody. John Endicott here, and since I've been around since 2007 at Soulbridge, I've been asked to reminisce a little bit about National Culture Day, how it came about, and all of that. Well, the principal sort of activating agent was this outfit that I have on right now. This is called a Scottish kilt. Of course, the kilt is the skirt-like thing. Please don't call it a skirt, because there's nothing that makes a Scot matter if you call a kilt a skirt. But this is what started, and I get it because my mother was a Scot. She was a Campbell. And each family in Scotland has a different kilt or different color, a tartan. And so this happens to be very close to the Campbell, but it's actually black watch. And black watch is the kilt that's worn by a military regiment that was very active in the old days of Scotland and the United Kingdom. I wear it because I spent 28 years in the Air Force, and I was authorized to wear either this or ancient Campbell by the Scots in Scotland when I asked. So a little bit about the outfit. Of course, the medals are not Scottish, they're from the Air Force. But this has a little outfit here where we can carry very few things, but it's sort of like a purse, but it's called a sporran. On my legs, I have what's called a flasher, and a flasher just adds some sort of dynamics to the outfit. And on the other leg, though, is carried a dagger. And this, of course, was the primary method of defense by the Scots, who were sometimes fiery temper. Interesting story about that is the only time that the Scottish military do not wear their daggers is when they're in the presence of the Queen, and they do not wear that. Well, I love the kilt, I love the Scotland, and we started, of course, on the 7th floor, Wusong Library Building. That was where Soulbridge was originally located. That was 2007. And by 2008, we had started to really have an international feeling, and we had a lot of international students, not a lot, but several international students. And I came across the idea of wearing this outfit because every year in America and in Great Britain and Scotland, there's what a day called National Tartan Day. And everybody's supposed to wear the tartan if they're authorized, and that was 7 April. So I think it was about 7 April 2008. It wasn't exactly 7 April, but that was the sort of the reason we started. And I wanted to let everybody wear their own national dress and see what happened. Well, one of the most interesting things, of course, at that time, there were more Koreans in the building and the student body than international students. This is by 2008. 2007, they were all international. But one of the most beautiful things was all the hanboks that were worn by the Korean staff and Korean students. And so they came out with a beautiful Korean national dress, and all the other students then started to wear their own. It was a very Spartan kind of first activity. We wore these things and ate pizza, as I recall, and had a really good time. There weren't many activities because there weren't many students. But over the years, this has really grown so that each country tries to show something special that represents their culture and their ethnic background. So over the years, it has become much, much, much greater in scope. And of course, last year, 2019, we had a really unbelievable National Culture Day, which of course you might see on film today. Some of those things will be remembered forever because it was really classic. We were ready to go to Broadway or Hollywood in that particular shot. But of course that took place in November. I said we started in April. Well, we did. And we stayed with April for several years until the seawall incident happened when the ship, the ferry going to Jeju-do, sank with the great loss of students. And that was such a severe blow to everybody that we could not do any celebration in April or May. And the student council basically said, why don't we do this from now on in November? So we shifted to November. And November is what it still is and what it still will be, I'm sure, for years to come. But I really want to say that the Culture Day has become one of the most important activities of Soulbridge because it, you know, our brand is international diversity, and that is what Culture Day represents. And so in sort of one evening, we can tie together everything that is Soulbridge and display it to everybody to see. And of course, everybody gets a real kick and a thrill out of making food and then letting their colleagues try it. It's a really great experience. So the food, the costumes, and all the dances and cultural activities that go on during the day just make it a really wonderful experience for everybody. It's something that you will remember all of your lives as part of the great activities that Soulbridge sponsored. So I would just like to say it's my pleasure to have been here all these times, all these years, to see how Culture Day grew. Now we're going to experience something very new. This is going to be online. And I wait to see the culmination and see how it looks at the end. I'm sure we will do a really nice job because the student council is in charge and the student council always does a great job. So my pleasure to be here, be associated with Soulbridge and of course with Wusong. I hope everybody enjoys the evening and really, I can't say any more. It's been a wonderful experience. Enjoy Culture Day to its extent. Thank you.